I wanted to introduce a little line to you this morning. Hope it's something that can find its way into your playing and perhaps change the way you look at the fingerboard. So we're going to have some chromatic motion in the bass until we don't. We're going to go all the way down from A, G sharp, G, F sharp, F, E, D, and then we're going to have E in the bass, and finally A. So I'm going to give you some frets and fingers. So this all happens within one position. We're going to think ninth position. I'm going to start with my third finger on the 12th fret A, and first finger on the 9th fret E on the 3rd string. And right away we're going to bring the bass down and the melody up a half step. So bass is coming down to the 11th fret, same finger. And we're going to move up with the 2nd finger, that F note on the 10th fret of the 3rd string. And back, that note's going to release. And then that coalesces nicely into this. We have G and E, and we're going to get the D in between. So 10, 9, and 12. And as much as possible, we want to leave that bass note ringing. And we're going to drop down to here. So we have F sharp and D, 9 and 12, with my first and little finger, down to 2nd finger, 10th fret on the 4th string, C. So that's the first phrase, so to speak. And now we're going to carry on with that note. That C is going to start, but now we have F in the bass, 2nd finger, 8th fret, F and C. And we're going to do a little contrary motion. That F and C, that's 8 and 10, are going to become E and D, 7 and 7, with a bar perhaps. And we want to reach in between 10th fret, 4th string, little finger, to get that C note. So we went from, now that C is going to stay with a D below it, both 10th fret. Important fingering idea here. This is 3rd and 4th fingers, 10th fret together with 9th fret below on the 4th string, C to B. And then we're going to coalesce to E and A. It's a little E7 sus. So we're going to get E and A, 7th fret of the 5th and 4th strings, and we're going to resolve that suspension. So that's resolving to the 3rd of E major. So from the 4th degree of E to the 3rd degree of E. So we call this a 4-3 suspension resolving. In figured bass, you might see a 4 with a dash and a 3. And we have some choices. We can split and go. That G sharp ascends to A, and the E can move down by a 5th to A, resolving 5 to 1. Also, another thing that Bach does that I'd like to tag on here is we'd get to that 5-7, and instead of going to 1, he might go to extend or prolong the resolution. So from E7, sus4, now we're going to go to a kind of B7 with a flat 9. And this is a nice fingering. This is 3rd finger, 6th fret of the 5th string, D sharp. and then little finger, 7th fret of the 4th string, A, and B next to it, 3rd string, 4th. You might recognize this if you know B7. You might know B9 sits on top. So this would be B7, right? 7, 9, 7, 8, 7, 7. I think you know that. Then B9, natural 9. 6, 7, 6, 7. D7 with a flat 9, or diminished, D sharp diminished. 6, 7, 5, 7. If you drop that down, you get a nice 7th chord with the 3rd in the bass. This is 6, 7, 4, 7. D sharp, A, B, F sharp. So I'm thinking off of that, but I'm using different fingers. I'm using this kind of Lenny Bro finger set. So 3rd and 4th finger, that can go down to E7. And that's gonna perhaps resolve to A minor with a C in the bass. How about 3rd and 7th fret, 5th and 4th strings? You could also put the C, 6th string. I hope this finds you well, enjoying your music, and I wish you as always a good day.